Alright, welcome back to the channel and welcome to our second Dynamo Tag Grand Prix in this save, and I believe it is the 7th annual Dynamo Tag Grand Prix in 5SSW history. We're running back Selection Sunday. This was meant to be a one-off for last year because I wanted to test if I should do 2 pay-per-views a year, and I've concluded I don't need to. However, it just worked out insanely perfectly, scheduling-wise, to have the first tour day be a Selection Sunday. So, if it's on a Sunday, I might as well keep the Selection Sunday. We'll do 2 of them. I'll even give it a year this time. So yeah, but we're going to run same rules as last year. Obviously, I can't reveal the blocks for obvious reasons, because we don't know who's in them yet, as Selection Sunday is just kind of our, angle heavy, every team declares, and then we get the bracket announcement at the end of Selection Sunday. All we do know, the only people we do know that have declared were Birds of Prey. They have been fucking holding shit down in the tag division at the pay-per-views the past couple of shows. So, 94 rated match between the Birds of Prey and the Rose Queens. So, they are the first and only team so far to declare for the Grand Prix. The rest will do it on Selection Sunday. And I couldn't squeeze any more teams. So, it's going to be another two blocks of 8 teams each. I wanted to do a more extended Grand Prix, but it just did not work out. I would have needed to add 2 tour dates when I couldn't even afford to add 1. So, yeah. And the only other thing before we get into Selection Sunday, I did not bring in any outside talent. I was not able to. It's not that I wasn't able to. I could, but then people that I wanted to book would need to get cut. And I'll bring in more outside names for next year. I know I didn't bring any for the Grand Prix. I didn't bring any for the Dynamo Tag. But I didn't want to annex our own roster for some gaijin that aren't going to win that many matches. So, without further ado, let's get right into the first. Dogs are going crazy. They love the Dynamo Tag. Let's get into our second ever Selection Sunday. Okay, we are here. First show of the episode. Dynamo Tag Selection Sunday 2023, the pay-per-view that was never meant to make it to a sequel, but it got one. It has gotten a pay-per-view. I do have a full card. I was going to pre-book it, and I forgot. Opening the show, we've got High Fly Royalty versus Venomous, and then we have a bunch of other tag team matches, believe it or not. After that, we have Green Lockdown's Maki Yoshifumi and the Rose Queens taking on Icon Idols Megumi Nakajima and the current tag champs Wrestling Passion. Following that, we have the Quad Squad versus Best Ever's Shiori Japensha, Balkan Blue, and Kiyomi Mizuka. After that, we have Apex's Sei Akutagawa and Wounded Warriors taking on Icon Idols Yuma Maruya, Eri Sato, and Sakura Sada. The team of Yuma and Eri now have their own official team name called Kitten Tornado. That's for shoot. That's what I named it. It's really stupid, and I fucking love it. So, that's their team name, Kitten Tornado. After that, we have Best Ever's Chibi Violence and the Uprising versus Green Lockdown's Team Sub and the Termination. And then our main event, Apex's Birds of Prey and Monster Ishimura versus Chicas Locas, Miwako Katsukawa, Maya, and Lady Lotus. So we're going to have a lot of angles here, so let's just get right into it. No more wasting time. Kicking off the show, we got a 66 between High Fly Royalty and Venomous. Machiko and Yukiko both did great. Spider and Nami also did pretty well. 66 to kick things off. This match was also too short for the... I should have just... By the way, the dirt sheets are going to hate this fucking episode. There are a lot of unimportance I had go in 20-minute long matches. The TEW newsletter can cry about it. I don't care. So yeah, 66 to kick things off. And then High Fly Royalty just straight up announced, like, hey, We were really hoping to upset the world, beat Birds of Prey at the pay-per-view, but we didn't. However, that's not going to stop us. We are still favorites to win the Dynamo Tag Grand Prix. We are going to be in that shit. They are declaring for the Dynamo Tag Grand Prix. And if you'll notice, Venomous have not declared for the Dynamo Tag Grand Prix. They lost tonight. They don't declare. They didn't make the cut. I'm sorry. I wanted to put them in. I ran out of space. There were other teams and other storylines that took priority. Up next, we have Thea, Zofia, and Maki versus Hart, Paige, and Megumi. Really fucking good match. Maki Yoshifumi gave me a 71? Maki Yoshifumi gave me a good performance? What? Okay. Hell yeah. Megumi Nakajima was incredible as well. But the story of this match is Paige Croft, to win the match for Icon Idols, Paige Croft rolls up Zofia Jankovic, the current Triangle Champion. She gets the roll-up, and she taunts her. She's like, I should be a double champion. I should get a Triangle Championship match, Zofia. And Zofia stands right up, and she looks at Thea Davis, and she says, microphone in hand, Thea, I'm sorry, but I can't do this Dynamo Tag Grand Prix now. Now I need to defend my title, my brand new Triangle Championship. I need to defend it against Paige Croft and shut this weasel up. I'm sorry, Thea. I've got my own business to take care of this year. Boom! The Rose Queens are not going to be in the Dynamo Tag Grand Prix. Holy shit. What will Thea Davis do? We'll find out later. Up next, we have the Quad Squad versus Best Ever. And the Quad Squad, they stay winning. Like, they're not perfect in 4v4s, but goddamn do they have a very good record. And they take down a team involving Shiori Japensha. Shiori getting a 78. I did fucking protect her. Hoshiko with a 69. Hana with a 62. Quad Squad are doing great as well. 67 for this match. Afterwards, both teams, both members of the Quad Squad declare for the Grand Prix. However, they are overshadowed by Shiori Japensha absolutely losing her shit on her tag team, on her stablemates. She's calling bullshit. Kiyomi Mizuka took the fall. I forgot to mention that, but Kiyomi Mizuka took the fall, and Shiori looks at all of them, and she says, you are all pathetic. How the fuck did we lose to the backwash of Chicas Locas? There are gonna start, ever since Atsuko and Chieko betrayed this group, we have done nothing but be stalwarts and allow failure. So I'm not gonna be allowing failure anymore. People are gonna be held accountable for actions. Alright? Starting with you three. You three fucked this match up for us, so you three are not allowed to declare for the Dynamo Tag Grand Prix in any form, unless you want to be ousted from Best Ever and exiled to hell and beaten to hell. Connie, Kinye, Kiyomi, get out of my sight before I demolish you three. 53 for that, so another bombshell announcement. I did want to put Bulk and Blue in this Grand Prix. They have good chemistry that would help us out, but Shiori Japensha shut me down on that one. 53 for Shiori Japensha, going absolutely fucking crazy here. Up next, we have a 74 rated match thanks to Yuma Eri. She literally everybody but Sakura Sada. That's not on her. She's not very over, so we're giving her a break. But yes, 74, decent little match here. It goes 20 minutes and 22 seconds when Yuma Maruya pins Sei Akutagawa with the Yuma special to get the victory. Very good match. Performance of the match went to main event Eri Sato. After the match, the newly named Kitten Tornado declare for the Grand Prix, which is already a bombshell in itself that Yuma Maruya will not be teaming with Megumi Nakajima this year. She's going to be teaming with Eri Sato. Ever since Joshi Mania, she said that she wants to make sure and push some new blood. There's been too much criticism with her and Icon Idols that the younger names aren't getting pushed. So even though she got Eri Sato a world title match, she was unsuccessful, but we're not going to stop. We're going to win this Dynamo Tag Grand Prix, and we're going to win the tag titles. And she makes note to mock Sei Akutagawa for not capitalizing on that all-Asian contendership that she had for her. She beat Yukiko Matsumara, earning a pseudo number one contenders match, and then refusing to act on it because quote-unquote Apex is a rock-solid team, and they don't get in each other's way. So Yuma mocks that. Wounded Warriors jump in to shut them up. They're like, look, we're declaring for this Grand Prix as well. If you want to trash our group, we'll lay you out. We'll take you out during that Grand Prix. You're not making it to the finals if we're in your way. And then Sei Akutagawa says, look, no, I still don't regret my decision. I still don't regret not cashing in on a certified title match because Yu Hashimoto's my friend, she's my stablemate, and she's still my friend because even though she's not here tonight and she's not here to declare with me and Yu Hashimoto are going to be teaming in that Tag Team Grand Prix just to stick it to you, Yuma. Boom, 67. 3 more teams declaring for the Grand Prix here. Our semi-main sees an 84 rated 4v4 between Best Ever's Chibi Violence and The Uprising, taking the fall to the termination and Team Sub. After 20 minutes and 30 seconds, Unstoppable Tai pinned Amiko Miyoshi with the Tai Bomber. Unstoppable Tai was the weak link. Unfortunately, Atsuko is still generationally great. So yeah, 84 overall. After the match, we got some shit going down. First things first, Team Sub promised to go back-to-back. They say they won the purple block last year. They're going to go, if they're in the gold block, they're going to be the first team to win the purple block, then the gold block, and then win the whole thing back-to-back. And then the termination say, look, Atsuko, Chieko, we're tight, we're close. But if you get in our way, you're not making it to the Grand Prix finals. And Atsuko and Chieko say, we respect that, essentially. Like, yeah, that's the competition we want. We want friendly competition to make the group better. And then Chibi Violence and The Uprising, essentially, both declare themselves. They both say that neither of these teams are going to have a fucking chance if they face them. These two teams in lockdown don't have a chance to beat Amiko and Asami or Selena and Talia. And then Shiori Japensha comes out from the back out of nowhere and says, no, I'm sorry. Uprising, you guys are good. Uprising, you guys can go. And then it's just Asami and Amiko left in the ring, and Shiori says, look, Kiyomi and Kinye and Connie learned this earlier in the show, but we're going to start having consequences for our actions, okay? Amiko, you took the fall tonight. You're a chump. I'm sorry. You've been a weak link for a while now. I'm not going to let you represent Best Ever in a Grand Prix, alright? Hit the bricks, I'm teaming with Asami Okubo. I'm sorry, Amiko, next time win. And then, boom, fucking bombshell announcement, Shiori Japensha steals Amiko Miyoshi's tag team partner from her and just fucking declares for the tournament with Asami. So, Team Sub, Termination, The Uprising, and now Shiori Japensha and Asami Okubo have all declared for the Grand Prix, and it's time for our main event, 3v3, 87 rated match. Higa and Jemmy with incredible goddamn performances. Lady Lotus, not the best, but she's getting better each time. She broke her neck, give her a break. Really good match. Creative finish was a success. Beautiful stuff to look at. And in the end, after 20 minutes and 57 seconds, Maya submits Monster Ishimura with the triangle choke. Shades of how this save started. Monster lost to Maya for the All Asian Championship, and now, nearly 2 years later, we're still doing it. Fuck yeah. Maya win. 87 for this match. Birds of Prey have already declared, but they essentially give a warning shot to Chicas Locas, where they say that, if it comes down to the Dynamo Tag Grand Prix finals, we're going to crush any combination of Chicas Locas, if you even make it that far. And then Miwako, and they leave, and Miwako Katsukawa cuts a promo where she says that we've been doing a lot of talk between me and Lady Lotus about burying the hatchet. We've used that term a lot, burying the hatchet. And we feel like the hatchet has been buried. She's joined Chicas Locas. But to solidify that there are no more hard feelings, to solidify that the hatchet has been buried once and for all, I'm going to declare for the Grand Prix with Lady Lotus. And Maya was not aware of this. She is a little shocked, but she, at least if she's mad about it, doesn't show it. She's like, okay, cool. You know what? That's fine. I will find someone else to team with. That's fine. You go team with Lady Lotus. will take shit on. I'll find someone to take shit down. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's how we end the main show. We have a couple of things from the post-show interviews. Some more declarings. First, we have Romy and Sayuri Honda declaring. Romy says that she wants to mentor the young blood Sayuri Honda. She's just graduated from Young Lion status, and she wants to mentor her. And Sayuri's like, I kind of already have a mentor. Devil's kind of my mentor. And Romy's like, what has Devil ever done for this company? I'm mentoring you on how to be better in Apex. And Sayuri's like, okay, I guess, sure. So they declare, Amiko Miyoshi has found herself a tag team partner. She's found herself a monster of a tag team partner. She says that if Shiori Japensha wants to exile her from the Grand Prix, sucks to be her, because she's still going to be in it, and she's going to be in it with one hell of a tag team partner. Monster Ishimura, who did not have anybody in Apex left to turn to. Nobody offered her a spot. Monster Ishimura will be teaming with Amiko Miyoshi. Megumi Nakajima and Sakura Sada both declare. Megumi says that she would like to do something similar to with what Yuma is doing with Eri. She says the Persian Queens already proved their strength as a team, and Megumi wants to prove that Sakura Sada can hang in 5 SSW, despite all the criticisms that people have been saying. And then lastly, Maya says that both her and Thea Davis were kind of abandoned by their regular tag team partners. No real beef between them and their tag team partners, but they both kind of sympathize with each other. Like, man, Zofia has to defend the triangle title. Miwako's got to go wrestle with Lady Lotus. Neither of these two girls have the tag team partner that they thought they were going to have going into this show. So they are going to team up. At the last pay-per-view, Thea Davis was on Team Green Lockdown, and Maya was on Team Chicas Locas. Maya says that her issue was with determination, not necessarily Thea Davis and Chieko Kita and all them. So Maya's got no problem teaming with Thea Davis, and Thea Davis echoes that sentiment. So that is every single team that has declared. I have done every single one. So if you want to keep track, you can, but you won't need to, because this angle is just essentially kayfabe revealing the brackets. And we will do that right now. Here are the two blocks that we have. The Gold Stars block consists of Wounded Warriors, Miko and Ishimura, Katsukawa and Lady Lotus, Romy and Sayuri, Thea Davis and Maya, the Termination, Megumi and Sakura Sada, and Team Sub. And the Purple Stars consist of Kitten Tornado, which is of course Yuma and Eri, Down to the Mat, Shiori and Asami, High Fly Royalty, Yu Hashimoto and Sayako Tagawa, Rika Rina, Birds of Prey, and The Uprising. Those are the blocks. That was Selection Sunday. Who is mad at me? They're gonna get praised at the post show. 78. Look at that. Motherfucking the dirt sheets absolutely shit on me. And look at that. Look at that. 78. It didn't really have a huge effect. Did you guys know that Gomon is actually deserves a hug, and Romy Yamato is fucking awesome, and also Fuyuko Higa is the greatest wrestler of all time. Alright, $78,000 for Selection Sunday. Selection Sunday is a bona fide draw for us. So that was a very long way to kick off the tournament. This is going to be a longer episode. I did forget to mention, I always fucking forget to do this, but Grand Prix in my saves go, if you win, you get 2 points. If you draw, you get 1 point. If you, and it's the top 2 winners in each block. If there is a tie, then the tiebreaker is how they defended, how they fared against the team they tied with. So, for example, if Wounded Warriors and Amiko and Monster both finish with the most amount of points, then it would go down to what happened in the Grand Prix. If Wounded Warriors had beat them, then Wounded Warriors straight up win the block. If it just so happens that the two teams that finished in first drew when they faced off, then opening the pay-per-view will be a sudden death match, no time limit, winner takes the bracket and goes to the main event. So all matches, 20-minute time limit, 2 points for a win, 1 point for a draw. Those are the tiebreaker rules. I didn't think I'd need to explain it, but I accidentally had to last year because I fucked up the bracket. Hopefully that doesn't happen this year, but we'll only find out. So let's get into this goddamn Grand Prix. Alright, kicking off the Grand Prix, first non-Selection Sunday show. We've got some fun matches opening the show. Of course, the biggest two being the biggest match in the gold block. We've got the Termination versus Team Sub. And then out of the purple block, main eventing the show in its entirety tonight will be Birds of Prey versus Kitten Tornado. So yeah, some fun matches here. We have a lot of fun match-ups in terms of teams for this entire tournament. So I'm hoping to God we have good chemistry with at least any of these and no bad chemistry. I'm praying for no bad chemistry. But we got to kick off the show, of course, with the Young Line matches. This time we have the three girls from Best Ever that got screamed out by their leader and banned from the Grand Prix, redeeming themselves a little bit here as they beat Aikira, Ayuko, and Mitsumomo Tani. 47 to open the show. Kinye Mushishiba with the best performance. Kiyomi, not doing bad. She's still not great, but not doing bad for a newcomer. 47 for that. Kicking off the Grand Prix in the gold block, we have Wounded Warriors versus Amiko and Monster. Gets a 63. This was our Steal the Show match. Amiko Miyoshi, great performance. Monster Ishimura, guys. 2 years ago, I wanted to bury this woman in the ground. Now she's got a chance to, like, actually do some stuff in this save. So this might actually be the final ticket I have to push Monster Ishimura like the game wanted me to. But yeah, after 10 minutes and 3 seconds, Monster Ishimura pinned Kaori Takanouchi, giving her and Amiko 2 points to kick off the bracket. Following that, we have a 64 rated match as Down to the Mat take on Yu Hashimoto and Sei Akutagawa. Sei sticking up for her stablemate. However, the story of this match is Yu and Sei, like, they're two good competitors, but as a team, they don't really do tag team moves. There's just really not chemistry there. And I know that that is a fucking shoot in, like, the TEW, but that's going to be the storyline. Is that there is noticeable lack of chemistry between these two powerhouses in the Apex stable, two mid-card powerhouses in the company as a whole. And, but yeah, they were at least able to get the victory here tonight after 11 minutes and 40 seconds when Yu pinned Hoshiko. But, I don't know how this is going to unfold for these two going forward. 64 for that. Hoshiko did incredible. They're both going to do bad, by the way, guys. They're not frauds. I promise they're not frauds. They are just, trust me, it's because of the chemistry. 68 for the debut of Thea Davis and Maya as a team, as they go over Romy and her new protege, Sayuri Honda, almost getting performances better than her. But yeah, Thea Davis and Maya get 2 points for themselves in 14 minutes and 17 seconds when Thea Davis pinned Sayuri Honda with the flying elbow drop. 2 points for them in the Gold Stars block. A 72 for High Fly Royalty versus Shiori and Asami. And I don't know if this is an upset or not. I feel like they're two pretty evenly odded teams. As Best Ever get the victory over High Fly Royalty. 2 points for Shiori and Asami after Shiori submitted Yukiko with the Japensha leg lock. Performance of the match, of course, went to Machiko Matsuda. Good shit from her. 60 for our intermission match as Zofia Jankovic defeats Nami Genda in 12-11 with the knockout head kick and cuts a promo afterwards directed at Paige Croft. She says, look, Paige, I abandoned my best friend, I abandoned my unit, and I abandoned my tag team to take on you. You beat me, you taunted with my belt, you showed me no respect, so I'm putting everything on the table. I'm not gonna hold a goddamn thing back when we fight for this title, so you better bring me everything you've got. I want you. I'm praying that you end up out of the Grand Prix pay-per-view. I pray you end Dynamo Tag with 2 titles, because if you don't, then you are just as pathetic as everybody in Lockdown says that you are. Boom. 51 for that promo. Continuing on with the Grand Prix, we see Sakura Sada and Megumi Nakajima shockingly defeat the team of Lady Lotus and Miwako Katsukawa in 14 minutes and 16 seconds when Sakura Sada gets a quick roll-up on Lady Lotus, giving 2 points for the Icon Idols. Shocking everybody. 62. What a way to continue post the intermission match. Up next, we have Rika Rina and the Uprising going to our first time limit draw in the bracket so far. So that's 1 point for both Rika Rina and the Uprising. They're two evenly matched teams here. They're both around in the same spot in terms of kayfabe where I'm, booking them at. So, neither of them could put the other away. They're very evenly matched here. Really good performances from everybody but the supposed MVP of the company, right, Rina? Our main event for the Gold Stars gets a 69 as we see Team Sub versus Determination. It is a hard-hitting affair. However, it was Team Sub who came up victorious here. Friendly competition, although it didn't look like it. There are no hard feelings after this match. These two teams took each other to war, but only one team was left standing, and that was Team Sub. 2 points for them. And in our main event, Kitten Tornado making their debut as the Team Kitten Tornado up against the Birds of Prey match gets a 79, and it is Kitten Tornado winning the match. 1857, Yuma Maruya pinned Jemi Onishi with a split-legged moonsault to get the victory. Match of the night, 79 for this match. Higa and Jemi both did great, like always. But yeah, Kitten Tornado upset Birds of Prey, getting 2 points to kick off the tournament. And then Yuma Maruya does a fucking victory lap afterwards, talking her shit, where she's like, look, I've been monitoring Sei. I've been monitoring you, Hashimoto. Man, Apex is looking really fucking weak every time they face me, huh? They're looking really fucking weak, aren't they? Oh, just literally the whole promo is just her talking shit. 68 to end the show, and we do have one announcement in the press conference, or it's not a press conference, it's the interviews afterwards. The matchmakers of 5SSW announced that there will be a multi-man match. I don't know how many people are going to be in it, but there will be a multi-man match on the next show to determine who will be that third person added to the Triangle Championship match. So before we end the show, let's see how the blocks are looking after night number 1. I hit stables, tournaments. So at the end of night 1, Amiko and Monster, Thea Davis and Maya, Megumi and Sakura, and Team Sub all have 2 points. Everyone else has 0. And in the Purple Stars block, I fucked it up. Shit, I knew I would do this. Fuck! Oh, man, that sucks. Okay, I can't fucking fix it. God damn, that sucks. Oh. Fuck. Oh, I fucked it up. Man, that sucks. That's gonna make my fucking job a lot harder. Alright. Well, I have it on the spreadsheet. Oh well. I will think of something. Don't worry, I will think of something. But, after night 1, Kitten Tornado, Japenshi and Asami, and, Yu and Sei all have 2 points. The Uprising and Rika Rina are both tied with 1. I will think of something on how to fix that. I knew something was gonna go wrong. 81 overall show. The show itself did great. We drew $11,000, but fuck, it ain't a 64 tournament if I don't ruin fucking something. Man, am I mad at myself. Oh. Okay, night 2 is underway. I have fixed the tournament blocks. All I had to do was run probably the funniest pre-show you will ever see in your entire life. I ran 2-minute matches and I ran 3 2-minute matches and 1 3-minute time limit to just fucking redo the bracket. That was on our pre-show. It's hilarious. In kayfabe, the TEW crowd's got to be so confused. Hopefully that's the biggest fuck up we have. I am very paranoid. I did not forget what happened on the last Dynamo Tag. But yeah, main eventing this night, we've got Amiko Miyoshi and Monster Ishimura taking on Thea Davis and Maya. And then biggest match in the Purple Stars block, we have Birds of Prey taking on Rika Rina. But before all of that can commence, there's our by the way, 70 for this 2-minute match, sorry. Before any of that can get underway, we have probably the funniest team up as Maki Yoshifumi, Zofia Yankovic, and Nami Genda defeat Aikira, Ayuko, and Mitsu Momotani. I forgot to mention it, but as you saw in the pre-booking, the final person in the Triangle Championship match will be determined in a Triangle Championship match, as Connie Morris, Kinye Mushishibo, and Spider Isako will have a Triangle Championship match, and winner gets added. So, yeah, I forgot to mention that. I was a little caught off guard by my own booking, so I forgot to say that. But yeah, Maki Yoshifumi, now that she's not being a prick backstage, is actually giving me decent performances. Hopefully she'll start pulling her weight in money, that's at least. So 59 to kick things off. Our first tournament match sees the Uprising draw once again, this time with the other two members of Quad Squad. Last show, they drew with Rika Rina. This show, they've drawn with Down to the Mat. 20-minute time limit, 76 rated match to kick off the show. Really good fucking opener. Talia Quinzel did great. And then Rika Rina comes out to help their tag partners in the backstage. And there's just this really big stare down between these two teams. 2 matches between these 3 teams. 2 draws. Neither team's happy with how either match went down. But yeah, another draw and another single point for both Down to the Mat and the Uprising. After that, we have the Termination defeating Romi Yamato and Sayuri Honda in 7:36 in very short match. Termination get themselves another 2 points in the block. Not another, their first 2 points in the Gold Stars block, as they lost to Team Sub last time. After that, we have the team of Yu Hashimoto and Sei Akutagawa falling to High Fly Royalty, as the problems that we saw in the first match, they were amplified, and it ended up costing them. Their lack of communication as tag team partners screwed them out of a victory here, as Michiko Matsuda pins Sei Akutagawa with the Royal Flush, and High Fly Royalty get their first 2 points of the tournament. And there is visible tension between these two competitors after the match. Nothing said, no strikes are blown, but there is visible tension. Everybody in the audience picks up on it afterwards. 83 for that. Right before our intermission match, we see Icon Idols versus Team Sub. Team Sub scoring 2 more points, now bringing their total to 4 in the Gold Stars block as they beat Sakura Sada and Megumi Nakajima. Sakura Sada went for another roll-up victory, this time on Chieko Kita, but Team Sub, knowing that this was coming, they saw what happened on the last show. Chieko Kita was able to get out or to counter that roll-up easily, hit her with the strong head kick, get the victory, and yeah, 67. Winning the 3-way to get added into the Triangle Championship match is none other than everybody's favorite Gaijin, the best Gaijin, Connie Morris, with her staggering 33 rated performance. Beautiful stuff, and she has, of course, been added to the Triangle Championship match that I now need to pre-book. So yeah, Connie Morris, Paige Croft, and Zofia Yankovic is the first match announced for the Dynamo Tag pay-per-view. There we go. What a match, Connie Morris, showing them how it's done. Back to the tournaments, we get a 71 as Kit and Tornado take on Asami and Shiori. And in 14:34, Shiori and Asami get another 2 points in the tournament. Shiori locks in the Japensha leg lock on Eri Sato, getting the victory. Good stuff. Good stuff. Eri and Yuma had really good performances here. In our next match, Wounded Warriors take on Chicas Locas, and despite not getting the tournament off to the beginning that they were hoping for, Miwako and Lady Lotus do get their first 2 points of the bracket here tonight, as Lady Lotus hits the Senton Bomb on Kaori Takanouchi. Chicas Locas win, 2 points for them, and Miwako with a 69, way better than everyone else. Our semi-main is probably going to steal the show, but I like alternating between which block main events, so I shot myself in the foot and put Birds of Prey in the semi-main. Match goes 15 minutes and 54 seconds. Fuyuko Higa carried the match in terms of the in-ring performance, and Birds of Prey get the victory here, getting their first 2 points. A lot of teams that lost on night 1 ended up winning on night 2. As we are going to have a pretty even Purple Stars block at the end of tonight. But yes, 79, of course, from Birds of Prey. And then main event, actually not bad main event. Not a bad main event at all. 71 rated match. And in a shocker, Amiko Miyoshi and Monster Ishimura do the upset and beat the team of Thea Davis and Maya. Between a total of 4 different stables are represented in this match, and between 2 different teams of mixed crossbred stables, for whatever reason, Monster Ishimura and Amiko Miyoshi seem to gel a lot more than Thea Davis and Maya. Thea Davis and Maya, they're not Yu Hashimoto, Sei Akutagawa's level of anti-cooperation, but for some reason, these two, Amiko and Monster, just gel really well. They were able to topple Thea Davis and Maya in 1734 when Miko pinned Maya with the Miyoshi Cradle. That ends the show. Our post-show, we have a press conference just hyping. Not a press conference, it's a post-show interview hyping the Triangle Championship match. That's all that happens on the post-show. How are these brackets looking after night 2? Well, in the Gold Stars block, only 2 teams have 4 points, and it is, you expect Team Sub to be leading, but do you also expect the team of Amiko Miyoshi and Monster Ishimura? They're the only 2 teams with 4. Wounded Warriors and Romy and Sayuri have still yet to get a victory. In the Purple Stars block, only 1 team has 4 points, and that is Shiori Japensha and Asami Okubo. Every other team has had at least 1 loss, except the Uprising, who have 2 points with 2 consecutive draws. But at least every single person in this bracket, in this block, has earned at least 1 point. So, there we go. It's still, tournament's still in its infancy, but nobody has taken charge in either of these brackets. So, that is how we end night 2. We get a 74. Awesome shit. Actually, really good fucking number. 74 and $11,000 at the gate. Yeah, beautiful. I'm going to try to make these go faster than I'm doing. So let's get straight into night number 3 of the Grand Prix. Night 3 of the tournament is upon us. Main eventing tonight, we have Birds of Prey and Shiori Japensha and Asami Okubo. We've also got what's going to be main eventing the gold block. Main eventing the gold block is, I think, Miwako and Lotus versus Team Sub. It might be Amiko and Monster versus Determination. Regardless, fun matches here tonight, but the one to watch is the final match we have. But kicking things off will, of course, be our Young Lion match, as Zofia and Maki team up once again to take on Ayuko and Mitsu this time. 58 overall rating for that segment. We then kick off the tournament with a 62, seeing Megumi and Sakura secure another 2 points for themselves after 10 minutes and 28 seconds when Megumi Nakajima pinned Romy Yamato with the Nakajima straitjacket. Good way to start things off. Crowd's hot. Megumi Nakajima was head and shoulders above everyone else. What's new? But yeah, after that, we then have the long-anticipated Kitten Tornado versus Yu and Sei Akutagawa. A lot has been said between these two stables over the past couple months, and Yuma Maruya has just backed up a bunch of the shit she was talking. Yuma had just defeated both Yu and Sei alongside her tag team partner Megumi Nakajima, and now she has done it again with her current tag team partner, Eri Sato. 13 minutes and 30 seconds, Yuma Maruya pins Yu Hashimoto with the Yuma special and scores 2 points for Kitten Tornado. And then afterwards, Yuma Maruya straight up says, look, this is the second time I've embarrassed your ass, Yu Hashimoto. Second time I've done it. When are you gonna give in? When are you gonna give? I figured it out. No, I figured it out. I know why Sei Akutagawa was scared to challenge you, because she pities you. She knows that given that opportunity, she'll defeat you. That's why there's so much tension every time you guys wrestle. That's why you can't put your differences aside, is because Sei knows that she's playing down to you. Alright? She's playing down to you, Yu Hashimoto. 64 for that. After that, we have the Wounded Warriors versus Thea Davis and Maya, where Thea Davis and Maya get another 2 points. Maya submitted Kaori Takanouchi with the triangle choke. 13 minutes, 58 seconds. Maya did incredible. Good match, 69 overall rating. Final match before the intermission, we see the Quad Squad facing off. They haven't faced off in quite some time. Since that little hiccup right at the beginning of the formation of the Quad Squad. But they face off once again, and they go to a 20-minute time limit draw. Of course, two of the most feared and fierce teams in the most feared and ferocious four-man unit in the company. They go head-to-head, no winners determined, 1 point for each person or each team in this match. Our intermission match sees Aikira take on Heart Saito. Not much to this match. The real note is what happens after the match. I said the real note is what happens after the match. As in a 53 rated segment, we see Maki Yoshifumi essentially call out and challenge Heart Saito. Look, your tag partner's doing something, you're not doing anything. I didn't join the Dynamo Tag this year because I was let down so much last year. I wasn't around in the company last year. I was doing MMA fights. And I didn't want to do it this year because my tag team partner was too busy being, I'm kind of done with tag teams. Truthfully, I'm kind of done with tag teams. And after what happened with Yu Hashimoto, but I want to secure some future hardware for my stable. While I'm not in this tournament, I want to make my presence felt at the Dynamo Tag pay-per-view. Whatever happens at the end of this tournament, whatever happens at the end of Final Attack, I want to score some insurance in a future possible tag team match. I want to take you, Hart. I want to take you on one-on-one at the pay-per-view to give Green Lockdown an edge when it comes to determining a new competitor for the tag team titles. Heart Saito, much like everyone in the crowd's like, I'm honestly not exactly following your logic there. I don't really care. I'll be more than happy to take you on, Maki. But yeah, that's going to be a fun match at the pay-per-view. I really botched that promo. That's my bad. 53 for that. Back to the tournament matches. We see the Termination defeating Amico and Monster. A really good start to their Grand Prix, but they do fall victim here. Their perfect record is out the window as Unstoppable Ty pinned Monster Ishimura with a spike flapjack. Good performances all around. Up next, we see High Fly Royalty going to another draw for the Uprising. I swear to God, I did not intentionally plan to have the Uprising kick off the tournament with 3 time limit draws. It just happened that way. However, I am not complaining. 70 rated segment. It did really well. The Uprising have now... They're undefeated, but they also are winless. They're in one of the weirdest positions I have ever created in a Grand Prix. 70 rated match here. Both teams get a point. Our semi-main sees Team Sub take on Chicas Locas, and Chicas Locas end the perfect record for Team Sub in a shocker as Miwako Katsukawa pinned Chiyeko Kita, beating the favorites to win the block in 15:45. Miwako gets the victory and then cuts a promo afterwards where she's essentially like, look, Etsuko, I respect you. You might have finally bested your demons with Shiori, but let this be your wake-up call. You are not ready for the big times. You are not ready to take on me. You are not ready to take on the rest of the main event scene. You've done a great job fighting Shiori, but that's your ceiling. 62 for that. And our main event, 81. Great fucking main event. As Birds of Prey defeat Best Ever to end the show. 17 minutes and 38 seconds. Gemi Onishi hits the death from above on Shiori Japensha. And if I remember correctly, they were the last team to have a perfect record. Nobody left in the tournament has a perfect 6-0 after 3 nights. The brackets are wide open. Even though both Wounded Warriors and Romy and Sayuri have no wins, they can easily bounce back with everyone only being at 4. But everybody aside from those two are tied in the Gold Stars block with 4. And in the Purple Stars block, we have 3 teams with 4. That being Kitten Tornado, Shiori and Asami, and Birds of Prey. The Uprising and High Fly Royalty not far behind with 3 points. And then 2 points for the remaining teams. Right now, it is clearly anybody's tournament. None of the favorites have really separated themselves from the pack so far. So let's just see how this continues. 82 for that show. $11,000 at the gate as we go in to night number 4. Alright, day 4. We come into day 4 without knowing anybody that's really taken control. Almost everybody's gotten off to a great start. Wounded Warriors and Romy and Sayuri, of course, are the only winless teams left, but they aren't exactly schmucks. They could come out and win at any time. Main eventing tonight, we've got Thea Davis and Maya taking on the Termination. Maya still hasn't forgiven the Termination, but now she's teaming with somebody on the Termination's group, so that might be a thing to watch out for. We're also going to be kicking off the tournament with some Birds of Prey. Since Birds of Prey aren't main eventing, I thought, fuck it, why not? Let's put them in the opener. Excluding the Young Lion match, of course, because opening every show is a Young Lion match. And this time, it's Connie Morris and Iyuko Osagawa, as this match gets a 40. Connie Morris wins. You know the drill. 8 minutes and 2 seconds. But when in doubt, what do? We Birds of Prey it out. 75 to kick off the tournament matches, as Birds of Prey defeat Down to the Mat in 15 minutes and 24 seconds when Fuyuko hit the death from above to pin Hana Ajibana. Really good match, of course, from Birds of Prey. Great shit as always. And 2 more points for them. Following that, we have Amiko Miyoshi and Monster Ishimura taking on Sakura Sada and Megumi Nakajima. And in the end, after 10 minutes and 3 seconds, Megumi Nakajima, 3-time world champion Megumi Nakajima, is able to hit. The story of the match is Megumi keeps trying to hit this explosion suplex. She keeps going for this exploder suplex on Monster. It keeps failing. Eventually, she gets it. She hits it. She tosses the Monster down. And she gets the performance, beating her. To get 2 more points for the Icon Idols. Amiko and Monster really started this tournament off white hot, and now they're at an even 500, which goes to show just how wide open this tournament has been. 67 for match number 2. Match number 3, we have Best Ever versus Apex, Shiori and Asami versus UNC, and it's the same story that UNC have been having the rest of this tournament. They have no chemistry. It's visible. There's a lot on both of their minds. It's almost like they don't trust one another. However, tonight, Asami Okubo, when she was off her game, she was caught off guard. When Sei Akugawa hits a roll-up, a fast roll-up, Shiori doesn't see it in time. She's able to get into the ring, but she's not able to break it up in time. And Apex sneak their way out of this match with a victory, despite the performance, I guess, despite their poor performance as a team in kayfabe. And shoot. But yes, 63 for this. Apex do get the victory in spite of themselves. And to finish off the matches before the intermission match, we have Chicas Locas versus Apex. And Romy Yamato and Sayuri Honda continue to go winless as after 12 minutes and 28 seconds, Lady Lotus hits the senton bomb on Romi Yamato. This mentorship on Sayuri Honda is really not panning out the way Romi Yamato was hoping for. Miwako Katsukawa had an incredible performance as always. In our intermission match, we see the tag team champions defeating the team of Akira and Mitsu. Paige and Hart, great performances as always from these two. Back to the tournament matches, we see Rika Rina taking on High Fly Royalty, and we have yet another time limit draw in the purple block. We've had 0 time limit draws in the gold block, and this is now our 5th in 4 shows for the purple block, as this is the story of these mid-card teams, and I hate to call Machiko a mid-carder, but she is a mid-carder right now. The story of these mid-card teams is that they really don't have an answer for each other. When a mid-card team faces a top-tier team, they either sneak away with the victory, they are underestimated, or they are beaten. But when they're facing another mid-card team, both teams with nothing to lose, with everything to gain, they cannot put each other away. And Rika Rina and High Fly Royalty draw our 5th draw in the purple block, both teams getting a point each as a result, 65 for this match. Up next, Chieko Kita strains her bicep. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate for her, isn't it? That's really unfortunate for me as well. But yeah, she strains her bicep and loses as, like I was saying earlier, Wounded Warriors at any point in time could come out of nowhere and get a victory, and here they do it, surprising everybody. Etsuko was hit with the Shell Shocker. Chieko, you know what the story can be, is Chieko strains her bicep, and then she's out for the rest of the match. Etsuko tried to take on Wounded Warriors 2-on-1. She couldn't do it. She fell victim, and Wounded Warriors have secured their first points in the purple block. Oh, at least there's no heat. Up next, it's not the semi-main. No, it is the semi-main. Semi-main gets a 70, beautiful stuff. Kitten Tornado versus the Uprising, and the Uprising, despite the fact not even leading the purple block, they are undefeated, as in they have 3 draws. They get their first win here tonight, defeating Kitten Tornado in a bit of a shocker. I wouldn't call it an upset. They are probably the biggest team that we have, other than Birds of Prey. So yeah, the Uprising are still very much possibly winning this tournament, as they take out another favorites in Kitten Tornado. And main eventing tonight did not go nearly as well as I wanted it to. Gets a 66 as we see the Termination, the team that Maya hates very much. They defeat Maya and Thea Davis when Toko Kijimuta pinned Maya with the Spike Flapjack. And Termination do a little taunting after the match as they are like, look, this is why we left you. This is exactly why we left you. You can get any partner you want, and we're still better. You were holding us back. Whether you meant to or not is irrelevant. You held us back. Now you see firsthand just how unstoppable we are. And that's how we end the show. We have a couple of interview segments that I wanted to highlight. The first being Sei Akutagawa and Yu Hashimoto. They're interviewed, and they're, you know, the vibes are happier than usual. Yu Hashimoto and Sei, they're like, yeah, we fucking beat them. We beat, who'd they beat? We beat Shiori and Asami. After the way we started this tournament, nobody thought we were going to be able to do it, and we fucking did it. And then Sei chimes in like, yeah, I mean, yeah, we did it. I bailed us out. I really bailed us out with that roll-up. And Yu Hashimoto's like, what do you mean by that? You bailed us out? And she's like, I mean, like, yeah, objectively, we weren't going to win that match until I got a quick one, and I bailed us out. And Yu Hashimoto's like, okay. And just like she doesn't say it, but it's like why did you feel the need to bring that up? And then Maya, I'm not going to be able to do this because I'm not a very subtle person, but she essentially kind of hints at, like, she doesn't know if she can trust Thea Davis. She's not entirely sure if Thea Davis was able to put her unit aside for this tournament, because She took the pin against the members of Green Lockdown she hates the most. She's just kind of questioning Thea Davis' character without saying it directly. That's, it's just they're in the same group. We're teaming for the first time ever, and it's like, maybe her motives aren't the best. Who knows? But that is how we end night number 4. Here are the blocks so far. Leading the gold blocks, we got a 3-way tie with 6 points. Miwako and Lotus, the Termination, and Meg and Sakura. In the purple block, we've got one team leading the charge with 6 points, of course, being Birds of Prey. However, not far behind the undefeated Uprising with 3 draws and 1 victory. But yeah, still, even, look, it's not likely, but I don't think mathematically Romy Yamato and Sayuri Honda have been eliminated yet. Even though they're 0-4, they could still maybe do it. I think it's possible. I don't know. But really, between the other 15 teams, it's still anybody's tournament. We don't have a real grasp on what's happening. For the love of God, can Chieko Kita please power through it? Oh my God, that scared me. Oh, thank fucking God. What's your next match? They're not main eventing. They're getting a short match next show. They're getting a short match. I'm giving her a break. $10,000 gate. That's fine. Oh my God, the weight of the world was just taken off my shoulders. Day 5, we're winding down. We only got 3 more nights left, and we still don't have a good picture on who could possibly be coming out of these blocks as the winners. So, yeah, we main eventing tonight. I didn't do this intentionally, I promise. I've explained before how I schedule these matches, and it just so happened that we have 2 different matches where it's going to be faction versus faction. Birds of Prey versus UNC in the main event. We'll also see Shiori and Asami versus the Uprising tonight. We have Chieko Kita working with a strained bicep. So fucking everybody give her a round of applause and a half because she's earned it tonight. But kicking things off, we've got another injury as Kiyomi Mizuka takes out Mitsumomo Tani for good, apparently, after this match. 34 for that. Unfortunate. Hopefully there's no heat. There's no heat. All right. Beautiful. But we kick things off with Team Sub versus Romy and Sayuri, and with a strained freaking pec, Chieko Kita gets the victory for Team Sub, pinning Sayuri Honda with a strong head kick. She didn't need the goddamn bicep. She just needed her feet to get the victory. I gave her limited involvement. This is going to be the only show she's working with an injury. I'm more than okay with sacrificing the rating so that she can still do this tournament without hurting herself even more. So, thank you, Chieko Kita. 54 to kick off the tournament matches. But our Steal the Show match up next. Look at that. Look at that. Atsuko keeps getting better. Kicking off, we have a Steal the Show match. And that marks, in 5 nights, we have had 6 different matches, all involving down to the mat, High Fly Royalty, Reek Arena, and the Uprising. Every time any combination of these teams faced each other, it went to a 20-minute time limit draw. Like I said on the last night, these mid-card teams, when they face each other, they can't put each other away. When it's 4 girls with nothing to lose and everything to prove, they cannot finish the job. As Down to the Mat and High Fly Royalty go to the 6th 20-minute time limit draw scene in the purple bracket. 67 for this match. Up next, we have Wounded Warriors versus Determination. The Wounded Warriors got a pretty shocking victory on the last show, defeating Team Sub out of nowhere. However, Determination cut their momentum out immediately from under them, as after 11 minutes and 49 seconds, Toku Kijimuta pinned Kaori Takenouchi with a spear. Another 2 points for the termination here. 62 from Toku herself. After that, we have Kitten Tornado versus Rika Rina. Match goes 15 minutes and 26 seconds, and Rika Rina do come up short against Kitten Tornado here, as Arisato hits the buzzsaw kick on Rika Sujimura. Good performance from Ari and Yuma. Rina is such a prick, but goddamn, she's giving me good ratings. It's hard. I've got a fucking Joey Minnesota on my hand. Those of you that played TEW 2013 fucking know what I mean. But yeah, another 2 points for Kitten Tornado here. Our intermission next. Oh, fuck, man. Injuries are back in full swing. Ooh. Man. The Haruyama Dojo class of 2022 has both gone down in one night. That is very unfortunate. Yuko Osagawa, before her career can even get started, has broken her neck. That is very unfortunate. We saw what that shit did to Lady Lotus. She's young. Hopefully she can come back strong. Wow. That is a shame. Kinye got heat backstage too. It wasn't even Connie Morris. I bet all of us thought it was Connie Morris. Wow, that's upsetting. But the show goes on, and the show continues with the team of Thea Davis and Maya defeating the Icon Idols in 14 minutes and 28 seconds when Thea Davis pins Sakura Sada with the flying elbow drop. So any speculation that Maya had on the last episode probably went away after tonight, but Thea Davis saw that interview. And Thea Davis looks her in the eye and she says, "Look, I know exactly what you were hinting at. And I want you to know, Maya, first off, that hurts. First off, you think that I wouldn't give you my 100%. But second off, you're wrong. And if you think we're going to go anywhere in this tournament, you need to trust me." And Maya says, "Look, I'm sorry. I was frustrated. Losing to the termination will always put me in a bad mood. That's on me," essentially. She apologizes, and Thea Davis and Maya, who knows, will they be able to continue? Who knows? They're going to continue, but will they be as dominant as they were before what Maya said? 68 for that segment. A 69 for Best Ever versus Best Ever, as in 16 minutes and 30 seconds, it is Talia Quinzel who pins the faction leader Shiori Japensha with a rising tide. The Uprising are still undefeated with 3 time limit draws and 2 victories now. Great performance from both Talia. Actually, great performance from all 4 women. And after the match, Shiori, she looks pissed. She looks furious. However, she laughs it off. She first looks pissed, and then she laughs it off. She's like, "You know what? God damn it. You two have proven time and time again why I have made you my right-hand men, why you two have replaced Team Sub as the number 2, as the pure backup of Best Ever. If me and Asami can't win this block, then God damn it, you two have earned it. Prove me right. Prove me right, Selena. Prove me right, Talia. Do this for the group." And then they all fist bump. And Shiori, not freaking out for once. She loves these two more than clearly everybody else in the group. And in our semi-main, Chicas Locas versus Amiko and Monster. Amiko and Monster had one hell of a start to this tournament, but ever since their 2-0 beginning, they have gone 0 and now 3. This time falling to Miwako and Lady Lotus. Match goes 16 minutes and 5 seconds. Miwako hits Amiko with the Katsukawa bomb, gets the victory. Lady Lotus was the weak link. She's getting better, guys, I promise. 70 for the match overall. Still a very good match. And in our main event, we get an 81 despite the team of Yu and Sei having 0 chemistry. They pull it together for this match as they take on Birds of Prey. But like I said, if you're going to go up against arguably the toughest team in the entire tournament, you're going to need to be firing on all cylinders. And the miscommunications and the mistimings and the weird tension that's going on is way too easy for the Birds of Prey to pick apart. Match goes 18 minutes. It's a miracle it made it that long, but these two teams obviously these four girls don't really fight each other often, so that's probably why it went 18 minutes. But 81 overall for the match, and Fuyuko Higa and Gemi Onishi, they lay down the law. They say straight up, they're like, we're watching what's going on, you two need to figure this shit out. When me and Gemi first launched Apex, there was a little bit of infighting. You know what it did? It only set the group back. It only made our mission a lot harder and ultimately failed. Our immediate mission of taking over 5SSW, eradicating the other stables, it failed because we couldn't keep our goddamn egos aside. Because I had the title, Gemi wanted the title, and it was fucked. You two need to figure this shit out because it's only going to hold the stable back. And if you two can't figure it out, then we'll figure it out for you. 72 rated promo to end the show. I forgot to check the blocks. Goddamn. Yeah, Yuko's gonna be out a while. Mitsu's, you know what? I'm just gonna keep them both off. Ikira's gonna be getting a lot of one-on-one work in the upcoming shows. Really unfortunate for Yuko. We made $11,000 at the gate. I will show you guys the results at the beginning of the next show. So instead of just waiting, we'll get into night number 6 and I will show you what the standings are. Okay, the first of the final 2 days in the Dynamo Tag Grand Prix. Here are the standings as promised. Going into this night, poor Romy and Sayuri are still completely defeated. This mentorship is a complete disaster. But leading the gold block, we have the teams of Miwako and Lady Lotus and the Termination, both with 8 points each. They're the front runners, but you can't count out any of these other teams with 6. Unfortunately for the Wounded Warriors, they're only here to play spoiler, along with, actually, I think Amiko and Monster might still be in it. If they beat... Okay, this is Team 3. No, because if they tie, they lose the tiebreaker to Miwako and Lady. And they beat Thea and... They beat Thea and Maya. They might still be in it. Or no, did they beat the Termination? No, they did not. So yeah, so Wounded Warriors, Miyoshi and Ishimura, and Romy and Honda are all in spoiler category. Everybody else still has an easy chance to win it. In the purple bracket, I'm not going to go through the entire thing, but leading right now we have Birds of Prey with 8 points. The still undefeated Uprising with 7 points, 3 draws, and 2 wins. Kitten Tornado with 6 points. High Fly Royalty with 5 points. Yeah, I mean, I think even you and Say might still have a chance to win it. I'm not entirely sure. Who knows? But let's see how this is looking after tonight, because tonight we've got in the main event Thea Davis and Maya versus Miwako Katsukawa and Lady Lotus. We're also going to be kicking off the tournament matches tonight with Birds of Prey and High Fly Royalty, a rematch from our previous pay-per-view, from the Japan Slam pay-per-view. So that's going to be a fun one. But first things first, we have our Young Lion match. Our last standing Young Lion, Ikira, takes on Spider Isako. They have great chemistry. This gets a 49. But kicking the tournament matches off will be Birds of Prey and High Fly Royalty. It gets a 66, really good match. And, oh yeah, Michiko Matsuda fucking does it again. Roll-up victory on Gemi Onishi this time. That's how the last match started, was with Machiko getting a quick roll-up on Fuyuko Higa, and it led to a match at the pay-per-view. But now High Fly Royalty have gotten their win back, and we're all evened up going into, coming out of this show. Birds of Prey won at Japan Slam. High Fly Royalty won tonight. Good way to kick things off, 66. Up next, we have some more Apex on Apex violence, as two teams that are only playing spoiler are doing this for pride. Romy and Sayuri want that first win. Wounded Warriors don't want to only have one. And in the end, after tonight, it was Wounded Warriors who came out on top. Sayuri Honda with already, proving she belongs in this roster. 12 minutes and 16 seconds, Chitose pins Romy Yamato with a victory roll to give Wounded Warriors 2 more points. Their second 2 points in the tournament so far. 59 for that. Up next, a 71 as Down to the Mat take on Kitten Tornado. Kitten Tornado get the victory in 14:09 when Eri Sato pinned Hana Ajibana with a buzzsaw kick. 71, really good shit. Yeah, everyone had a decent performance. Kitten Tornado are still front runners. They're still absolutely in the running to win the purple block. Up next, we have the Termination versus Icon Idols. Termination could damn near clinch it with a victory here, but they come up short to Megumi Nakajima and Sakura Sada. Megumi and Sakura have now gotten themselves 8 points and are easily winning, or not winning, but it's very possible that this team of Megumi and Sakura could come out of nowhere and win this bracket. They upset the Termination. Megumi hits Toku with the Super Exploder Suplex. A 63, Megumi gets the great performance. Toku, Sakura Sada was the weak link. We're glossing over that. But yes, Megumi and Sakura now with 8 points tying the Termination going into the final night. Our intermission match sees Connie Morris team up with a fellow challenger for the Triangle Championship, for Zofia Yankovic's Triangle Championship, as Connie teams up with Paige Croft and Heart Saito to take on the team of Nami Genda, Zofia, and Maki. And in the end, it is the Green Lockdown and Nami Genda team that get the victory. After Maki Yoshifumi pins Heart Saito with the duck under head kick. Maki with a 61, Heart with a 73. But yeah, Maki called out Heart. She wants to presumably get Green Lockdown in good graces with a possible tag team title match in the future by getting a singles title win over Hart at the pay-per-view, and she has just bested her here on a tour show. So 64 for that match. Back to, I'm so sorry. We have an angle I've forgotten about, as Maki and Zofia kind of make this argument like, hey, this entire tour, the Dynamo tour, leading to the Dynamo Tag pay-per-view, is meant to showcase and promote and what's the term? Showcase and whatever. It's meant to showcase the tag team division, yet our tag team champions are not defending the tag team titles at the pay-per-view. We've just gotten a win over you two tonight, and we think that Green Lockdown should have a tag team title match ahead of the pay-per-view. Why wait until the pay-per-view? Let's do this. Next show, you defend the tag team titles against us, and then we'll take your titles from you and then embarrass you again at the pay-per-view. So making a challenge for next week's show is Green Lockdown, 52 for that angle. Back to the tournament matches, we have Best Ever taking on Rika Rina. You didn't get to see it if you were watching the YouTube VOD. No, if you're watching the VOD, you got to see it. But if you're watching the condensed version, Rika Sujimura just held me up for money in the middle of the tournament. Yeah, so she's losing to Asami Okubo tonight. Judo Toke Sleeper, she taps out. Yeah, you can have your extra $15 a show. You're getting choked out. Asami Okubo, thank you for your service. And that is another 2 points for Shiori and Asami. In our semi-main, we see Amiko and Monster after such a great start to the tournament. They've been mathematically eliminated, and the final nail in the coffin is here as Team Sub defeat them in 17 minutes and 3 seconds with a great victory. Chieko Kita's bicep is fully at 100%, and she makes full use of it during this match. She pins Amiko Miyoshi with a strong head kick and a lariat to get the victory. Atsuko carried the match, but everyone had a great performance. 75 for this match. Good fucking match. Up next, main eventing the Purple Stars is Yu Hashimoto and Sei Akutagawa, and they once again, despite what Fuyuko Higa said, they still just cannot gel. There is some tension. There is something going on between these two competitors. It doesn't seem like whatever Fuyuko Higa said made it any easier. They were able to last a little longer this time, but they were still bested by the Uprising in 17 minutes and 20 seconds when Talia Quinzel pinned Sei Akutagawa with the Rising Tide. 73 for this match. Another 2 points, and the Uprising are going into the final night completely undefeated with 9 points. 3 wins, 3 draws, 9 points going into the final night. And, final match of the show. Main event, Thea Davis and Maya versus Miwako and Lady Lotus. Highly anticipated match, and it does not disappoint. Maya and Miwako have great performances. Thea Davis has a really good performance as well. And Thea Davis pins our world champion with a flying elbow drop to get the victory and them 2 points in the match. And after the match, Thea Davis starts to call out Miwako. She calls out Miwako. She says, "I've just taken your best friend and I've beaten you at your own game. What a world champion you are. What a leader you are, huh?" And Maya steps in. She says, "Look, Thea, this is our tournament, but that's still my unit leader. That's still my best friend." And Thea Davis says, "Oh, please. Oh, enough of this. Maya, we got to get on the same page." And Maya says, "No, we are on the same page. You need to get on my page. Chicas Locas trumps the Dynamo Grand Prix. You do not disrespect Chicas Locas." And Thea Davis says, Fine. We're still in the running. Let's finish this Grand Prix and get through it." 77 rated angle to end the show. We have some post-show highlights from some angles. We have, first things first, Devil and Sensational making the tag team title match official for next week's show. The intermission match will be a tag team championship match between Zofia and Maki and Wrestling Passion, Paige Croft and Hart Saito. Tag team titles on a tour show. Oh my goodness. I booked that for the pay-per-view, didn't I? Fuck me. Oh well, I'll move it after the show. After that, we have Romy and Sayuri kind of squabbling at each other as Romy's like, "Look, this mentorship did not go as well as I thought it would." And Sayuri says, "As well as you thought it would? We haven't gotten a single fucking win, Romy." And Romy is like, "No, Sayuri, calm down. We still got one more night. We're facing, we're facing Monster and Amiko. We'll beat him. And Sayuri is just rolls her eyes and walks away. This is just a disaster of a team. Romy thought she could be a mentor. She cannot. And we end the final highlight with High Fly Royalty essentially saying, like, "Look, they beat us at the pay-per-view. We beat them tonight. Maybe a rubber match is in order. Maybe one match to settle the score is in the book. Birds of Prey, you better watch out, because next time we face you at a pay-per-view, we're going over again." Alright, and let's take a look at the standings going into this final night. We have 4 teams going into the final night with 8 points. Miwako and Lady Lotus are going to be taking on the Termination. That's got some huge implications. Team Sub are going to be taking on Thea Davis and Maya. So the teams with 8 are going into the final night facing each other. Okay, so the Gold Stars is decided between 2 matches. I'm not going to go through every single possible scenario, but if you want to yourselves, you can pause it and see how the tiebreakers would work. And for the Purple Stars, Leading the block with an undefeated record of 3 draws and 3 wins is the Uprising with 9 points, who are going to be taking on Birds of Prey in the final night. But do not count out Kitten Tornado, because if Kitten Tornado can get the victory against, who are they facing? Against High Fly Royalty. If Kitten Tornado win, they beat Birds of Prey in the tiebreaker. They beat Birds of Prey in the tiebreaker. So if Kitten Tornado win, and the Uprising don't win, I think they beat the Uprising. No, they lose it. So if Kitten Tornado win, and the Uprising lose, Kitten Tornado win. If Birds of Prey win, Kitten Tornado has to lose. So there are a lot of High Fly Royalty also. Wait a minute. High Fly Royalty draws. No, but yeah, they can't draw with the Uprising. They can't draw with the Uprising because if the Uprising draw, they get 10 points. High Fly Royalty by the slimmest of margins cannot win. So it is down to 3 teams. It's down to 3 teams. So who knows what's going to happen going into the final night. A lot of matches on the line. I didn't fuck anything up, believe it or not. I still have one more show to fuck up the booking, but I didn't fuck it up yet. So, one more night with a tag team title match. Let's go. The final night of the Dynamo Tag Grand Prix is here. Main eventing tonight, possibly for the block. We don't know until Kitten Tornado wrestle. Will be Birds of Prey versus the Uprising. Speaking of Kitten Tornado, they are mathematically the only other team possibly to win the purple block, and they are taking on fellow Icon Idolites, High Fly Royalty, who are fresh off of a win against Birds of Prey. In the gold block, we have a good bit of teams that can possibly win it, and 4 of them, there are 5 teams that can mathematically win. 4 of them are facing each other. So, Megumi and Nakajima and Sakura Sada are facing Wounded Warriors, who Wounded Warriors are no pushovers, but they have not had exactly the best Grand Prix. However, the other teams, both with 8 points each, Termination are taking on Miwako and Lady Lotus, and Team Sub are taking on Thea Davis and Maya. So, we're really looking for a possible tie here. A lot needs to happen for a tie not to go down. So, I guess I'll see you when the tiebreaker needs to be made, but we will also have this impromptu tag team title match here. Zofia and Maki of Green Lockdown will be taking on Wrestling Passion for the tag titles on a tour show. It will happen in between the Dynamo Tag matches. Without further ado, let's get straight into... I hit add match. Why did I hit add match? Let's get straight into the show. I have had to bump my Young Lions onto the pre-show. First things first, Akira takes on Kiyomi Mizuka. And we have some new Young Lions. I've been contemplating... They have 0 chemistry as tag partners. Damn. Damn, that sucks. I really was going to run with them as a tag team when they graduated. Oh, well. That's a bit of a shame. So, with Iyuko's injury going down, I felt like now was the time. I've had Ayano and Nozomi. I shortlisted them right when they graduated from the Hadoyama Dojo. Yes, they are Hadoyama Dojo graduates. I shortlisted them. I'm like, I don't know if I need them. With Iyuko out for over 400 days, I think it's time to bring them in. I don't think we'll bring in any more Young Lions. I might do it just for, like, role-playing, like, you know, in theory, the save would go on, but we're stopping the YouTube save after 4 years. I don't know, we'll see. They have no chemistry, but here they are. Ayano Kadawaka and Nozomi Sumemasa have joined 5SSW as new Young Lions on the team. And opening the show, we've got Wounded Warriors versus Megumi Nakajima and Sakura Sada. all they need to do to essentially get a tiebreaker possible advancement is win, and they lose. Megumi and Sakura choke when the lights were the brightest. They lose to Wounded Warriors, and Megumi Nakajima and Sakura Sada are as good as eliminated. Actually, they are eliminated. Since the termination, and Miwako and Lotus are wrestling, and Team Sub and Thea and Mayo are wrestling, even if they both draw, Megumi and Sakura Sada are mathematically eliminated. So they choked when the lights were brightest and came up short. Wounded Warriors with the victory, 62 rated match. In a match that has no outstanding stakes, Apex takes on Rika Rina. UNC, they still can't get their shit together. In fact, tonight it was worse than it ever was before. They just were doing shit out of spite, tagging themselves in when they wanted to. They are, the relationship, the teaming relationship has kind of soured tonight. And, it came to a head. Rika Sujimura gets the victory for Rika Rina by pinning Sei Akutagawa with a Cruel Intentions. And, yeah, with that, I believe, and I could be wrong, I believe mathematically already, oh, wrong button, mathematically already, where are they? Yeah. No, I lied. I lied. Never mind. I'll get to it later. So, after the match, there's a little story note. Just trust me. Only achieving 4 points in the entire tournament. Sei Akutagawa and Yu Hashimoto's relationship has been out of control. And Yu Hashimoto grabs a microphone and she says, "Look, Sei, as partners, it's just not what it's not meant to be. And I feel like we've let tensions boil over way too much. You've let too many people get in your head. Sei, before this shit gets out of control, we need to bury the hatchet. We need to settle the differences. We need to get this and put this behind us." And Sei Akutagawa says, "Fine, whatever," and she walks away. So she says that she's gonna put this behind her, but did she really? 71 rated promo. Next up, we have Romy and Sayuri looking for their first ever win. Not their first ever win. Their first victory. Just 1 point. They want 1 point, and they can't get it. Romy thought Monster might lay down for her. Monster did not. In fact, Monster pinned Romy with the running butt avalanche, and Romy and Sayuri have become the first team and any sort of competitors in any tournament I have ran to go completely scoreless. Big old goose egg for Romy and Sayuri. Very embarrassing performance. Emiko and Monster finished with 6, respectable 6. So there is that. 67 for these two. Kitten Tornado versus High Fly Royalty. 72 rated match. And High Fly Royalty have done it. They've beaten Kitten Tornado and eliminated them from the tournament. They have upset Kitten Tornado and eliminated the team of Eri Sato and Yuma Maruya. Even if Birds of Prey and the Uprising draw, Kitten Tornado have been eliminated by their own stablemates Machiko and Yukiko. And fucking Kitten Tornado, they couldn't do it. And Yuma gets up and she looks dejected. She looks a little betrayed at Machiko and Yukiko, but she doesn't hold it against them. She says, you did good. You did good. I'm just disappointed that I couldn't get Eri Sato a victory here. However, I have other business to take care of first. Eri, we will be back to team before you know it. 64 for that. What does Yuma Maruya have planned? Up next is the tag team title match. Green Lockdown versus Wrestling Passion. It goes 14 minutes and 26 seconds. It gets a 71. And Wrestling Passion make defense number 5 of the 5 SSW tag team titles as Paige Croft submits Zofia Jankovic ahead of their Triangle Championship match. So Wrestling Passion not only retained the titles, but Paige Croft now has some momentum going for the Triangle Championship at the pay-per-view. Up next is Thea Davis and Maya versus Team Sub. Winner will end with 10 points, putting them in the lead for the time being. And it is Team Sub who defeat Thea Davis and Maya in 17:56 when Atsuko Ariyoshi submits Maya with the Ariyoshi lockdown. This match was a great match, 70 rated. Maya had a 72. Great performance. However, Team Sub came in. Now they are leading the block. What needs to happen in the main event for Team Sub to lose or win? What needs to happen? So Team Sub have only lost to Wounded Warriors and Miwako and Lady Lotus. So, if Miwako and Lady Lotus win, they win the block. If Determination win the block, they can't win it. Team Sub will win the tiebreaker. It all comes down to Miwako and Lady Lotus to win. Otherwise, Team Sub advance to the finals. And afterwards, Thea Davis grabs a microphone and she says, Maya, we came up short. Remember how you questioned me? Remember when you asked me, did I intentionally lose those matches? Did I intentionally lose that match to the Determination? You're goddamn right I did. You're goddamn right I did. I don't know who the fuck you think you are, Maya. I used you to get exactly what I wanted. I never wanted to win this Grand Prix with you. I never wanted to win the tag titles with you. I never wanted to challenge the tag titles with you. I wanted to face Miwako. I needed a reason to face Miwako. My tag team partners got singles gold. I want singles gold. I used you to get close to that world championship. Now I have a victory over her, and you have nothing to show for it. Not only did I screw over that match against Determination, I screwed over that match tonight. Maya, you're a paranoid motherfucker, but goddamn were you right. 66 rated angle. Thea Davis used Maya to get to the world championship. Up next, Down to the Mat versus Best Ever gets a 66 as well. And it is Down to the Mat with a huge upset on the final night, even though the match didn't really matter. Down to the Mat gets the victory. Hoshiko Tagawa submits Asami Okubo with the cross arm breaker. And with that, this was the story point I was trying to note with you and Say. They finished with the least amount of points in the block. Despite being two of the biggest names we have, they finish with the least amount of points, and the commentators make heavy note of that during the match, during the post-match. And it all comes down to the main event. For the gold block, Miwako and Maya need to win to get to the finals, and it is a 20-minute time limit draw. Neither the Determination or Chicas Locas are able to come out on top. After the bombshell announcement that was what Thea Davis said, Miwako Katsukawa holds absolutely nothing back on these former members of Chicas Locas, but the team of Miwako and Lady Lotus were not able to put them away. 70 rated match, and with that, Team Sub has clinched the gold block. They will go on to the finals to face either the Birds of Prey or the Uprising, whoever wins during that match. After the match, Thea Davis comes out essentially to sort of repeat what she said earlier. She's like, Miwako, I've done what I've done to take you on. I've done what I've done to take you out and take your title. But Maya runs in. She says, if you want that fucking title, you gotta go through me, Thea. You gotta go through me. And we set up a 3v3 match at the pay-per-view. Maya, Miwako, and Lady Lotus versus Thea Davis and Determination. And final main event in the purple block. Birds of Prey versus the Uprising. Is it the Uprising's year, or do Birds of Prey reign supreme on the tag team division in a match that gets a 76 rating? It is Birds of Prey who win the purple block. They will take on Team Sub in the main event of the pay-per-view for the Dynamo Tag Grand Prix Championship. Birds of Prey do it. Fuyuko pins Talia Quinzel with the Higa Green Driver. 76 rated overall match. Really good performance from everybody involved. But like I said, that is the main event set. Team Sub versus Birds of Prey for the Dynamo Tag Grand Prix. And that's how the main show ends. However, we still have some post-shows to address. First things first, Yuma Maruya, she had something planned. What was that? Yu Hashimoto was being talked to by Devil Karubi in the interviews afterwards, and Yuma Maruya jumps in and she says, look, I've proven it at the last pay-per-view, and I proved it during this tournament. I'm not gonna be like your bitch-ass tag partner and waste my time. At the pay-per-view, I'm coming for that all-Asian title shot that I've earned. Yu Hashimoto versus Yuma Maruya for the All-Asian Championship. 61 rated angle. We're getting that at the pay-per-view. We have an angle. Megumi and Sakura are talking about their shortcomings. They were so close, yet they couldn't do it. When Romy and Sayuri, they barge in. Sayuri kind of reluctant to barge in. Romy barges in and she says, Megumi, you screwed me. Megumi is very confused. Romy says, you stole my idea of having a protege, and not only did you do that, you ruined my protege's confidence. You've rigged the stack against me. The referees are obviously not going to side with the less popular, even though they're better. And Megumi's like, you are just fucking out of your mind. And Eri Sato steps in, and she's like, dude, get a life. And Romy says, shut up, you lost too. We would have beaten you and Yuma if we were in your block. And, yeah, just a lot of shit happening here. Who knows what this could be setting up. After that, Shiori and Asami call out Amiko to the interview area. Amiko shows up, and Shiori essentially is like, how fucking dare you? How fucking dare you? You be a pathetic little worm. You lose. I kick you out of your own team, and you have the balls to go and team with somebody else? You have the fucking balls to do that? I should kick you out of Best Ever right now. And Amiko's like, no, please don't, please don't. And Shiori's like, you're right, no, I shouldn't. You know what I should do? I should embarrass you at the pay-per-view. You want to team with Monster Ishimura so bad, you can do it at the pay-per-view. And I'm going to teach you a lesson myself. We weren't able to do it in the tournament because we were in different blocks, but at the pay-per-view, I'm going to teach you a goddamn lesson about respect and respecting authority. So, yeah, this is happening at the pay-per-view. Asami and Shiori versus Amiko and Monster. And finally, Fuyuko Higa talks to Sei Akutagawa, and she says, straight up, Sei, I told you to handle it. I told you to squash the beef. And Sei says, I did. And she's like, we both know that's not true. However, if you are confident that this will not affect your work going forward, then I need your help squashing a different beef. Romy and Sayuri are stewing against each other, and they're picking fights with icon idols. You want to prove that you've got what it takes to you got what it takes. That's stupid. You want to prove to me that you're still putting Apex at the forefront? Go team with them. Forget about you. Forget about Yuma. Forget about all that bullshit. Team with Romy. Team with Sayuri against icon idols. And put them in line. Straighten them out as well. So, there we go. 3v3. Sei, Romy, and Sayuri versus Eri, Megumi, and Sakura. So, there we go. There we go. Here are the final results of the Dynamo Tag Grand Prix. I am sorry, my promo game has been very off today. It is very late where I am. I couldn't start this stream till later. So if my promos aren't great, I'm sorry. Here is the final results of the Gold Stars. Team Sub squeaking it out with 10 points. And Birds of Prey also squeaking it out with 10 points. It almost went to the Uprising, but the Uprising suffered their first loss at the worst possible time against the wrong team and lost the block. So yeah, 10 points and 10 points going to the finals. And the full-on show gets a 76. Beautiful. Financial report, $11,000, beauty. And yeah, let's get straight into the pay-per-view. Alright, it is time for the 5SSW Dynamo Tag number 9. The 9th edition of Dynamo Tag. And the 7th Grand Prix that the company has held. I'm not going to run down the card. This episode's probably already been long enough. You guys, if you made it this far, hopefully remember what happened earlier in the episode. The only thing I will mention is that there is a match I forgot to pre-book. I completely fucking forgot, and it was one of the key stories in the entire Grand Prix, was that these mid-card tag teams kept fucking tying. Every time any combination of these 4 teams faced off on each other, it all ended in a tie. So tonight, we will have a elimination, no time limit, match between these 4 teams to determine and settle the score once and for all. It's a really fun story that I fucking forgot to tell. But without further ado, let's get into Dynamo Tag number 9, kicking things off with the Triangle Championship match. And despite getting the victory on the tour show to retain her tag team titles, Paige Croft is unsuccessful in taking the Triangle Championship from Zofia Jankovic, as Zofia defeats both her and Connie Morris in 9:54 with the knockout head kick, pinning Connie Morris. This was our Steal the Show match and Zofia's first defense of the Triangle Championship. 52 to kick off the show. Following that, we have the 3v3. Sei Akutagawa essentially on babysitting duty as Romy and Sayuri are trying to fucking create more tension in between Apex. Fuyuko Higa said, Sei, if you're truly fucking over the beef, then help the unit out. And she came here and she straight up helped the unit out, as Sayuri, Romy, and Sei defeat Icon Idols Sakura, Eri, and Megumi in 12 minutes and 40 seconds when Sei Akutagawa pinned Sakura Sada with the Northern Lights bomb. This was also stealing the show for some reason. I didn't mean to go back-to-back on them. Oh well. 61 for this. Eri Sato, Megumi, Romy, Sei, all with great performances. Sayuri with a 56 in like her 3rd pay-per-view match, which is crazy good. For a newcomer. In the settling the score once and for all match, it scores a 73. Beautiful stuff. As in the end, it is High Fly Royalty coming out strong. They had really impressive wins during the Grand Prix. They, after it was all said and done, actually finished with 9 points, only suffering 1 loss. It just happened so early on that it was pretty much impossible for them to win mathematically. But they had a very, very impressive Grand Prix, and they follow that up by beating all these teams in an elimination match. First things first, we need to note the Uprising get eliminated in 3 minutes after a Machiko Matsuda roll-up. They are eliminated quick, and they are pissed. They are forced out, and then the match goes on. Down to the mat in Rika Arena. They refuse to work together. If they're teaming up, then they are an unstoppable team. But they didn't want to team up. They both wanted to win tonight, and it ultimately was their downfall. Down to the mat were pinned by Rika Arena, allowing High Fly Royalty to finish them off once and for all, as Machiko pinned Rina. 73 rated match. Selena with an 81 performance. Beautiful stuff. But after the match, the Uprising jump High Fly Royalty and they claim they were screwed. They come back out to Jump High Fly Royalty, very, very unhappy with how this match went for them. Up next is the Amiko Miyoshi humiliation match. I don't know how to explain this, but Shiori Japensha teaming with Asami Okubo to take on Amiko and Monster. Shiori saying, you want to team with her so bad, then do it and face me. And despite both Amiko and Monster trying everything they can, getting this match to go over 20 minutes, Shiori Japensha eventually gets the Japensha leg lock on Amiko Miyoshi and gets her to submit, as this match gets a clean 80. Very good match. And Shiori, she grabs a microphone and she says, Amiko, you fucked up big time. You fucked up big time. You gotta earn your way back in. You gotta earn your fucking way back in. Alright? If you want to prove your loyalty to this group, to me, to Selena and Talia, to prove to us that you're still a true part of Best Ever and you're not a weakling, take this bat and lay out your tag team partner, Monster Ishimura. Show us that you're still with us 100% by brutalizing the woman you just spent the past month teaming with. And Amiko Miyoshi grabs the bat and she clearly is hesitant. She does not do anything immediately. She looks back at Shiori. She looks at Monster. She looks at Asami. She looks at Monster. She looks at Shiori. Before eventually wailing right on Monster Ishimura, laying her out, beating her down. Shiori keeps yelling at her, keep hitting her, and Amiko forced to lay out her tag team partner to stay within Best Ever before the trio leave. Yeah, mind games? I don't know. Shiori's really gone off the wagon here, guys. Up next, we got a fun match. No, it wasn't. They don't click at all. Shit happens. We got a over match. I mean, the crowd was hot. Maki Yoshifumi versus Hart Saito. Maki trying to get, like, a preemptive tag team title match by beating Hart Saito in a singles match, but she is unsuccessful here in beating Maki is unsuccessful here as Hart Saito beats her in 22 minutes and 19 seconds with the Flying Tiger Knee. They just did not seem to click. It's a very unfortunate. This could have been a fun match, but shit just did not pan out that way. Up next, All Asian Championship. Yuma Maruya, wasting absolutely no time, earned her All Asian Championship match. Calls out Sei as she does it. Can she pull it off? Can she win the All Asian Championship? Match goes over 20 minutes, and in the end, in an 82 rated match, she fails. Yu Hashimoto defeats Yuma Maruya in 23 minutes and 6 seconds by pinfall with the endgame. Yu Hashimoto makes defense number 5 of the All Asian Championship. Yuma Maruya came up short one too many times with the world title, and now in her first attempt to regain the All Asian title, she comes up short once again. Yuma Maruya has failed. Yu Hashimoto is successful. 82 rated match for fucking this Titans Collide. But after the match, Yu Hashimoto's celebration is interrupted by none other than Sei Akutagawa. And Sei has a microphone in hand, and she says, God is my witness, truthfully speaking, I don't hate you. I really don't. And this isn't other people getting in my head, trying to split this group apart. This is all me. I'm not jealous of you being the All Asian Champion. I'm not jealous that I'm not a champion. However, I earned an All Asian Championship match, and I took it and I threw it away for the group. And what has this group done? Nothing to repay me. I'm sick of waiting. I'm sick of doing what's right for Apex. I've earned that All Asian title match, and I won it at Final Attack. I don't want to leave Apex. I don't want to leave you behind. But I think we both know the only true way to squash this beef once and for all is to squash it in the ring, mano a mano, spar moment, whatever you want to call it, me versus you, All Asian Championship. Yu Hashimoto looks a little taken aback before grabbing the microphone and saying, "Thank God you finally grew a pair of balls," or something. Maybe not that exact phrasing, but something of the words like, "You're goddamn right, the only way we're gonna settle this is by facing off. You've earned this All-Asian title match, now come and take this fucking belt from me." 58 rated match or angle, and we have our first All-Asian Championship match set. We have our first match set for Final Attack. Semi-main, we've got 3-on-3, Thea and Determination versus Miwako Maya and Lady Lotus. And in a 77 rated match, good stuff here. Creative finish was a success. Green lockdown, get the victory. Thea Davis manipulated Maya to get exactly what she wanted, and that is in the grasp of the World Championship, beating her mentor and leader in the Tag Grand Prix, and now beating her once again here tonight. Match goes 22 minutes and 29 seconds. Thea Davis has pinned Miwako Katsukawa with a flying elbow drop for the second time in this tour. And Thea Davis straight up says, "Miwako, there's no more running. There's no more hiding. I'm coming for that world title at Final Attack." And Miwako says, "Fine, you can beat me in tag matches all you want, but when it comes one-on-one, you're going to have to pry this belt from my cold, dead hands." And also in this angle, Determination, they promise to take out Maya once and for all. They want to take her out for good, whatever that means. So just hyping something else up. And now it is time for the Dynamo Tag Grand Prix Finals. Birds of Prey, winners of the gold block with 10... Team Sub were the winners of the gold block with 10 points. Birds of Prey were the winners of the purple block with 10 points. Both teams, 10 points. No time limit. It doesn't go over 30 minutes. It goes about 26 minutes. And does Team Sub go back-to-back? They do not. 92 rated match. Birds of Prey win the 5SSW Dynamo Tag Grand Prix. Incredible match. 92. Higa with a 91 personal performance. Chieko Kita was the weak link, and she got a 60. So that shows you everything you need to know about how great this fucking match was. 26 minutes, 25 seconds. Fuyuko Higa hits Chieko Kita with the Death from Above. And Birds of Prey will be going to Final Attack to challenge for the Tag Team Championships. So we have now 3 different title matches pre-booked for Final Attack, for our SummerSlam equivalent show. Wrestling Passion versus Birds of Prey for the tag titles. Say versus You for the All-Asian title. And Thea Davis versus Miwako for the world title. Great fucking start to the card already. 92 rated main event. We finished the show. 71 rated celebration. Oh, we're gonna win the tag titles. That kind of stuff. Yeah, before I forget, I remembered I disabled my autosave in case I put a wrong winner somewhere. So I want to get that off. But while I am here, I do want to check. They didn't win it before. This was their first ever Dynamo Tag victory. Birds of Prey win their first ever Dynamo Tag. Show gets a 92. Fucking beautiful. When in doubt, Birds of Prey it out. Guess who's awesome, guys? Romy Yamato's awesome. Kinye, you are not. I didn't book Kinye. Fuck. Oh well. Fuyuko Higa, gets a hug. And who else had a great performance? I think Atsuko did. Seem Please was very happy, and Seem Please, we made $93,000 off of that one show. We gain no popularity points in Kansai somehow. That's very upsetting. That's very upsetting. Yeah, what a fucking finish. What a finish to the show. Birds of Prey. Yeah. Greatest tag team in 5SSW history. I think I can say that. I think I can say that now. I think I can officially say that. Have I earned the right to? I don't know, but I will be saying that because they are the greatest team in 5SSW history. I don't care what anyone else says. I'm letting the sim go through. Okay, there we go. Show was awesome. Beautiful stuff. Thea Davis needs time to heal. Go for it, girl. Is that our best show to date? I can't remember what any of these other shows got. No, Hearts Champion was slightly better. Yeah, because it had Miwako and Maya. That's right, it had Miwako and Maya. Yeah, that match is going to be better. Alright. It is what it is, though. I am more than happy with how the Dynamo Tag Grand Prix went, despite the fact that this episode's probably over 2 hours long. If you are not watching live, if you watched this entire VOD or this entire condensed video, whatever, thank you. YouTube viewers, thank you. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all are excited for Final Attack 2023.